includes all these things is insane. Whether it's the Democrats, the Republicans, independent, I don't care who you are. It's a bad deal.
Yeah, man. What I
That's
was
hot
saying,
shit
man.
right there,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? So what we gonna do? We gonna dub that?
Yeah, man, let's do it, dog. Let's get it
Your
done.
buttons and they get you emotionally charged. Meanwhile, they slide out the back door with the bag. It says Texas saw an estimated 26K rape related pregnancies after outlawing abortion, study finds. It says Texas saw an estimated 26,000 rape related pregnancies during the 16 months after the state outlawed all abortions, with no exceptions for survivors of or incest, according to a study published Wednesday in the Journal of the American Medical Association. That's the highest figure among the 14 states with total abortion bans, with Texas having the largest population, according to the study. Survivors who need abortion care should not have their reproductive autonomy further undermined by state policy, said one of the authors, Dr. Carrie White of the Texas based Resound Research for Reproductive Health. The authors noted that while some pregnant survivors who need abortion care may be able to travel out of state or manage the pregnancy at home with abortion pills, the bans leave many survivors without a viable alternative. It
All
says,
right, let me
let me
go
finish it.
ahead.
It says, following the June 2022 Supreme Court ruling that overturned Roe versus Wade, the researchers estimated there were 519,000 rapes associated with 64,000 pregnancies during the 4 to 18 months after states implemented total abortion bans. Of these pregnancies, an estimated 5,000 occurred in states with exceptions for rape and 58,000 in states with no exception. So, comments. Basically, these chicks getting sexually assaulted and forced to have the baby of the person who assaulted them.
All right, let me go.
26K of them.
26K, because that was the first thing I wanted to address. Is because if that's the case, if that is true, is that person that raped them locked up? Because if
or
we're
charged.
allow at the least charged, but is there a reflection of the person actually, you know, the rape being, being like somebody that's,
How much of
you
this
know,
is are they just saying, "Oh well, I don't know who they were. Somebody raped me," because they just want to get rid of it?
yeah, like I mean, because
Or how many of these qualify under date rape? Someone that they knew, and how much is post coitus uh, regret?
yeah, because I mean, it's, to me, like, this is not a new thing at all, that of hearing stories from women that something that they claim happened that never happened, because now they just, they don't want to deal with what they're dealing with at the moment.
I, I'm suspicious of the 26,000 number all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Oh my God, that's huge, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like, okay, so I would say if that's the state of Texas has a bigger problem
Imagine how many rapes it would take
for the pregnancies.
for 26,000 pregnancies to actually occur.
You know what I'm saying? That that part.
Okay. Well, how many of them were real?
Well, that's the question. Like, I mean, that's what we're like. Okay, based on the numbers, what they're saying. Like, all right, how many rapes are there that somebody actually ends up pregnant? But because I mean, we would assume that at least that's a third. Like, maybe if 26,000 of them got pregnant, that's only a third of actual rapes. So we looking at maybe 75,000 people that's actually committed some form of rape that we don't even see a reflection of. That's where, to some level of proof that this thing even happened. the way they say it happened.
Yeah, but understand my question. Let's say the 26K number
Correct.
Okay,
is
just for
over.
example, I need to give you a number here, and I don't have one for the most current date, but in 2020 there were only 13,500 rape offenses in the state total.
Yeah, those were the ones that were reported. That doesn't mean that it wasn't more than that. But regardless,
Okay,
let's go.
now you're expanding. Now you're expanding the area of the law or the of this argument into the okay. Well, they didn't report it, but now they want an abortion for it.
Oh, that wouldn't
Now,
undermine that
now,
argument at
actually,
all.
it very much illustrates and undermines the we want to take rape off the table. So
Oh,
all of
oh,
a sudden, there's twice as many rape related babies than there were rapes in the previous years,
let's be
or
careful with
actual, as you say, reported. So if it's not reported, how how can it be classified as a rape situation?
Great
let's be
question.
careful. Let's be careful with the R word because the
Yeah,
algorithm,
we need to start talking about grapes,
yeah, the algorithm is
the fruits.
gonna shut this. It's gonna block the
Yeah.
whole video. So, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
listen. So let's go with your number of the 13K number of the people who were sexually assaulted. So 13K women
Here's where we're going
sexually.
to have the exact same argument. What does the numbers really matter? Blah 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 blah. When we've already said that
Look,
it
look,
should be
look, look.
taken off the table.
I
The
was gonna
the
say, let's hear him
discussion
out.
here is not how many are real or not. The discussion is how many. The discussion I want to have is how many of these are people just claiming that, because you're going to say, well, that's still your ultimate argument is, let's say it's 10% of 13,000. That's still 1,300. How can we allow this 1,300 to happen? Why are we allowing it? And we've
Yes.
already discussed here about how we don't believe in that, and that it should be taken off of the table.
Okay.
Those
Should be taken.
1,300, listen, those 1,300, I understand. I just did your argument for you because this is not the argument that we should be having here on this. Not that 1,300. We should be talking about the 2,400 that all of, or 24,000 that are attempting to use the letter of the law to break the spirit of it. We're looking at the why the whole Roe versus Wade got challenged and taken down in the first
In the
place,
first place.
because all of it was not being used as the law was supposed to be, total freedom. It wasn't never supposed to be total freedom of consequence, responsibility, and all that. It was never supposed to be birth control.
So
Yes.
yeah. So, but still, with that said, that still justifies one woman being sexually assaulted and forced to carry the baby of the person who sexually assaulted her.
Did I not just go through all of your argument for
See,
you?
he's ignoring.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. And
Are you?
us saying it
You're
should.
obviously not hearing me because you're asking me a question which is ignorant to ask me, because I answered it three times in three different ways already.
Listen, you said it shouldn't be a part of the law. It shouldn't be a part of the law. It does not matter because it
No, when we're
is
talking
a part
about
of the
the
law.
things that we've all agreed with, so we don't have to go through this discussion every single time, killing time, that none of us believe. We all believe that rape, defamation, death of child, death of mother are all things that should be taken off of the table when we discuss this, because we all agree, no matter what's going on with all of this, we all agree that that should all be taken off the table.
But it's
Now
the
What
point.
gets pushed?
the problem with taking all of that off of the table are statistics like this.
The
Yes.
point is that it's not, and this is
It,
something that's actually happening. It's not theoretical. It's actually happening. It's a real thing right
Yeah,
here in
there's
the
an
state that
increase
we
in the
live in.
number, but the problem is when you lie so horribly about the number and inflate it to such incredible rates that it loses credibility. And your cause and your statements lose credibility when they're backed by false information.
But you're assuming that it's
Part
false.
no, no, I'm not. I know for a fact that grape related births are up because of all this crap. It is a byproduct of it. And no, they shouldn't be. It's stuff that should be taken off the table. The problem is people reporting all of this. Oh, well, I had a bad thing happen to me. Now I need this thing scraped out of me, torn apart and scraped out of me. And it's being used as an excuse to have one.
Yeah.
And it's not, that's why I say you want to the only way you can actually answer that under the current situation, which as you and everyone understands I don't agree with, but legally speaking there has to be charges.
Well, what my whole point in covering this is a reason why it should be legal. This is the reason why it was legal in the first place. For these reasons.
In your
Okay?
opinion,
So
in your
No,
so
no,
opinion.
for these reasons I agree with him.
and
For these reasons was why we legalized it.
these are
So
the
let me
and it
ask
reasons.
this.
and
No,
it got
hold,
taken
hold.
advantage
Let,
of, like a
let
lot
me
of
ask.
this is being taken advantage of this.
Let me
They can
ask.
claim this and get them. Well, they could claim, oh, whatever, I feel real tired since I've been pregnant, it's compromising me. Oh,
But
well,
listen.
scrape it out.
Let me ask this: is there more or less abortions or pregnancies to even have a conversation about with the abortion on the table or off the table? Because like, if all right, let's just say, because since they've changed the law, are there less people going to get abortions or more, or is there like more people that's you know like, has it solved anything in, like, has
Overall
any it
numbers, abortion has gone down, but a lot of it because it's been illegalized and
uh-huh
it's been put in a point where they're
so
trying to
it's
threaten if you cross a state line to have one,
yeah, so that
and
means
all of
that it's
that.
pushing, it's forcing people, it's actually working the way it's supposed to, by eliminating a great amount of people who would have normally used that as a form of you know
And it's also causing sexual assault victims to have the baby of the person who sexually assaulted them.
And incest victims, and we covered the lady whose health her actually could potentially lose the ability to have kids over it. Yeah, it's the hardline law is not the right way to go. It's never been the right
but
way to go, and that's exactly what the laws,
but
what that whole thing, that's what it was all about.
see, that's the
But
thing,
again, it
when it's
got
on the
taken
table to
out
use
of that,
liberal.
and it became literally contraceptive.
Yes.
And then finally, some Democrat tried to push a law that said they can have one up to birth.
Well, yeah,
And
that
that's
was
what
one of the things
triggered
that
all this crap. And that
that's
is,
one of
I'm
the things that
sorry,
Hillary was pushing for.
that is just now if you want to get into that argument, not only will I die on that hill, I will kill you on it.
Yeah, because I mean, to me, that's like insane, and I think that that's for, because we can't forget that some of the people's reasons for wanting to make those type of laws is because of what they can use those things for, uh, medically, because they can, especially if it comes to term and it's a full, like a born life or whatever comes to full term, they can use the organs to do different things that um they do with them. So like, that's the thing that I think that we need to also consider, that like, some of these actors are not doing this thing just for, with no with goodwill. like they're looking at how it benefits their pockets if this happens and this, that, and the other. Like,
And some of them aren't.
no, I hear you because it's not. It's usually not the person, but sometimes they have been over politicized and thinking that okay, they should have the right to kill a life. But I mean, I'm even hesitant on like
So
killing a
so
wasp or a bee
so
that
basically
attack.
you're saying the good should suffer with the bad.
Yes, we. That's how it's always been.
Okay, so then what about with the gun argument? Should we take our guns away because some
No, no,
constitutionally
people use them in a,
no,
constitutional
that's
right,
no, but see,
should
not
we take
state
the guns
right,
away?
constitutional right. Sorry,
but no, but I mean,
we've
but
had
Still,
that
that's the
discussion
same.
too.
But no, Doc, that's still the same thing. I mean, some people will have to suffer death because of of that same type of thing. Like you think that because your position is get rid of guns, that's the real solution. No, having guns and being able to protect yourself is going to give you a higher rate of people living than not having a gun. Because guess what? You're not gonna have to go into a knife fight with somebody every time somebody thinks they want to kill you or
you're
they
not
want
you're
to or
not
beat
getting
you to a pulp.
you're not getting the connection to the argument because you just said that the good should suffer with the bad related to the abortions. Then if you apply that same argument to the gun argument, then that
You
means
can't.
all
You
our guns are
can't.
gone.
You
No, it
can't
doesn't.
because guns are a
No, it doesn't.
constitutionally protected right. Murder is not.
No one said abortion is murder.
A lot of people do, and that's what
It's
part of the problem. That's
that
what part of the
that's
problem is.
that's not what the
Like I
law
said,
says. No, the law does not say that. The law does not say that. The
I
law
beg
does
your
not say that.
pardon. I beg your pardon. If you pew pew or stab a woman who is pregnant, you are charged for homicide in two counts of homicide,
That's
not
true.
one.
But we're
Therefore,
talking about abortion.
therefore, yes, we are. We're talking about the one person committing a single murder instead of one person committing two.
The law
The
doesn't recognize abortion
voluntary action
as
of
a
ending
murder.
that life would be the same as the man plunging the knife in, would it
The
not?
law doesn't recognize that in the
That's
same
what
way.
that exactly. The law does not recognize it the same way, so you can't use the same argument for both laws.
No, what I was saying was Pat said
He
the good should suffer with the
No,
bad related
he's
to
trying to
abortion.
spin. He's trying to spin it, but
I
it
know he
doesn't
is, and
work
I'm
the way he
stopping.
wants to.
I'm
It,
ending that
it does
spin
work. You're
because
not hearing it.
it's a different law for a different subject.
It's
He said it's not murder. I just proved it. It is. Now
the
that
law
means
doesn't
an unborn
recognize it,
life should technically have the protection of the Constitution, right?
but it doesn't.
I know. Now, do you understand the problem that we have with this issue? It's not going to be solved until a determination of what is considered life begins. You can argue no matter what, and we all agree with all of the dumb stuff being taken off the table. All
Well,
three of us
but no,
agree with that
even
here.
but no. The thing about it is that when they're talking about other parts of science, zygotes and this, that, and the third, like they consider that life, but then they don't want to consider human forms in the same at the same growth spurt or period is not like that's where it's insane to me because they only use that to try to progress their side instead of actually using real science.
Let me read some more comments. It says even if this were true, it be because our borders have been open. Nothing to do with abortion being banned. Rapists shouldn't. Ugh. Rapists would actually prefer abortion stayed legal so they could eliminate the evidence. So this person is connecting abortions and sexual assaults to the border. So there's people. The reason why we having all these people born um, by people who sexually assaulted them is because of an open border.
Well, a lot
That's
of rapes
insane.
a lot of bad things like that happen at the border. I've actually showed you guys pictures of the grape trees and stuff like that there, where all the underwear and stuff is hung. But yeah, no, there is no causation. There is no causation connection with the border and this particular subject.